Hey Student Success, welcome to week 11. So we are creeping toward the end of that semester. This week you will be in chapter 6, so please make sure you check out the chapter 6 lecture video inside your video folder. You are also welcome to check out the actual link to the chapter. I will say the slides for this chapter are a little lengthy. You're still welcome to check it out if you like to have it in that format, but just spend a little bit of time in chapter 6, either in the video, the text itself, or the slides. So as a quick screen grab here, you have 2 assignments this week, your chapter 6 discussion forum. So as always, when you have a discussion forum, it is due by Wednesday for weekly attendance, and then respond to 2 classmates by Sunday. And then you have a how well do you study. It's an assignment, but it's like a real quick little survey, basically, is more like it. So please make sure you post by Wednesday to get your attendance for this week, and then respond to 2 classmates by Sunday and get this done by Sunday as well. So let's take a look at the actual work here. So chapter 6 discussion. When you open it up, here is the prompt. You're basically answering these 2 questions right here in 3 to 5 complete sentences. So you can, how you do that is up to you. If you want to like write 1, 2, and then answer them, or if you just want to write it in like one full paragraph, that's totally up to you. So first question, what forms of academic dishonesty are most prevalent on your campus? So chapter 6 talks about testing and different formats of testing, and it also talks about testing integrity. And so inside your book, I'll just kind of direct your attention here. I am in section 6.5, and I scroll down, and there's a table that talks about different types of academic dishonesty. So it goes over the different kinds as well as what that means. So cheating, plagiarism, fabrication, obtaining an unfair advantage, aiding and abetting, falsification of records, unauthorized access. Some of these you probably won't ever have to come across or deal with, but let's talk about the more common ones on this list. So cheating, I think, is pretty clear cut. You're using things you're not allowed to use. Maybe you're copying, pasting, you're not citing, you're looking off of someone's paper type of thing. Plagiarism is when, it's like a subset of that cheating, is when you are not giving credit where credit is due. You can also self-plagiarize. Let's say you wrote a paper in the fall, and then you have a class in the spring that you're like, ooh, this paper could work for this class, and you don't get permission to do so. That is self-plagiarism, and you could actually fail for that. So making sure that you're submitting material that is your own work, that is original to the class, that you're giving proper citation. Fabrication, this is like if you were doing maybe some kind of study, if you're kind of falsifying information, maybe not as common. This one might be obtaining an unfair advantage if you take a test and your friend has the same teacher but on a different day, and you give them the information like, hey, really study this is on the test. You just gave them an unfair advantage. So you could be on the giving or receiving end of that. And then this one kind of just talks about like if you were the one to give someone the notes or to let them copy of your paper, you're kind of aiding and abetting. There's a couple others on there as well. So your goal for this question, is to say what forms are most prevalent on your campus. So think about either if you're in high school, what's going on in high school. If you're in the college setting, what's going on there. If you're online, what happens there. And you can't know for sure, just what do you think? AI is probably going to play a big role in a lot of your responses because it's fairly newish, and people are still not always using it with integrity. So you can kind of think about that. And then question 2, what can you do to avoid those ways of being dishonest in your career? Can you make sure you study? Can you have, personal integrity? Can you manage your time better? Whatever it might be to avoid falling into the temptation to be academically dishonest. So make sure you post your original response to that by Wednesday, respond to 2 classmates by Sunday. All right, and then your other assignment this week is how well do you study? This is an automatically graded assignment by Brightspace, and so this is nothing that I have to go in and grade. It is one of these that you push play, and then make sure on the right-hand corner you keep hitting the button to go over, move it from side to side. And basically you're just looking and replying on this scale, never all the way up through always. And you'll get a score at the end. So just make sure you go all the way through, and you can check your grades to make sure that Brightspace did record it. All right, so if you have any questions on anything from chapter 6 on the discussion or the how well do you study assessment, let me know. Have a great week.